Check 1 2 1 2. Yeah, yeah. My levels is good. Okay. Give it a couple of seconds. Yeah, basically wanted to take some time out, man. Hold up a second. Mic check 1 2 1 2 1 2. Calls me, my brethren, my brother. What's going on, man? Yeah, man. I've noticed nobody in the sector's really talking about this, so I figured I cover the whole Meg the Stallion Tory Lanez situation. A lot to unpack here. I think what's currently going on is beautiful. This is the first time in this cancel culture and in this Me Too movement type of era where we see women finally being held accountable. You know what I mean? All being spearheaded by the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard trial. You know what I mean? Chicks is no longer fucking getting away with these fuck shit. Suan, what's going on? Happy holidays. So yeah, man, I'm glad these women are finally being held accountable. These women that are out here straight line, trying to fucking lock brothers down for some bullshit, trying to fucking avoid the truth that will land them into certain fucked up predicaments, getting called out on their bullshit. You know what I'm saying? But before I go in on my thoughts as far as who I think is lying or whatnot, and who I think shot who and all of that, let's start off by playing a quick recap. Via Poetic Flacco. Make sure y'all go ahead and support and follow Poetic Flacco. He had an interesting take, basically blaming quarantine radio for the demise of Tory Lanez's career at the current moment. If y'all remember, man, during quarantine, we were all locked up basically in our cribs, wearing our masks whenever we had to go outside or whatnot. But during COVID, there was a few things that made us being on lockdown, made the time pass by a bit better, and that was quarantine radio, Tory Lanez going up there, playing his tunes, having all these shorties going up there and twerking for clout. The NBA finally coming back, being played at the Bubble down in Orlando Universal Studios. In addition to that, the UFC being the first sport to come back and actually have some fucking live action and the first sport to be actually active throughout quarantine. But let's start off with Poetic Flacco's take on how quarantine radio basically was the commencement of it all. Let's get it.
The downfall of Tory Lanez's career started at the Rock Nation brunch in 2020. The Rock Nation brunch is a pre-Grammy event spearheaded by Jay-Z that dates back to 2011. Now, the Rock Nation brunch, again, Flacco never lost you. The Rock Nation brunch is the closest thing to the hip-hop Illuminati. You got every A-lister at this brunch, and if they ain't there, they ain't an A-lister. Now, the brunch in 2020 included a lot of notable names like Dua Lipa, Jesse Reyes, Jonas Brothers, Chance the Rapper, Lana Del Rey, James.
If y'all not familiar, man, the Rock Nation brunch is held every single year right before the Grammys, as Poetic Flacco was just saying. And this is basically a gathering of the who's who and in the music and entertainment world. If you get invited to that brunch, you basically got clout and you considered part of the A-listers. You know what I mean? So unfortunately for Tory, this is where he met Megan, and the story goes from there. Let's continue to
Blake, and of course, the usual, T.I., Meek Mills, Kevin Hart. But this event in 2020 had two people in particular.
facts,
Had
man.
Megan Thee
We're about to get
Stallion
into
and
that in a
Tory Lanez.
second.
Just by looking at these pictures, you couldn't tell that this was their first time meeting, like ever in life. That boy Tory Lanez raised his god level. That boy Tory Lanez is too smooth with it. But Megan Thee Stallion necessarily wasn't interested in Tory Lanez. She was actually trying to play matchmaker with Tory Lanez and her best friend / assistant, Kelsey Nicole, who came with her to the Rock Nation brunch. Now, she introduced Tory and Kelsey and encouraged Kelsey to pursue a romantic relationship with Tory. However, Tory had other plans for Kelsey. Tory and Kelsey did develop an intimate relationship, but it wasn't a romantic one per se. See, Kelsey wanted a relationship.
For those that don't follow, Kelsey is basically Meg the Stallion's best friend at the time, who was also her assistant, always being by her side throughout her whole come up. So that's who Kelsey is, and who also happens to be the individual that the prosecutors called up and pulled up on the stand in efforts to basically have her testimony be the nail in the coffin for Tory. Little did they know that by offering her immunity, that basically prompted her to not give a fuck and go back at the bitch who stabbed her in the back, which is fake, basically making the Stallion, who she had not spoken to for 2.5 years. But we're about to get into the trial, what's been going on in a second. Let's go ahead and continue to listen to this.
Relationship, but Tory was just interested in hitting and quitting it. So the Rock Nation brunch was January 25th of 2020. Tory was clapping Kelsey's cheeks for about 2 months up until March when quarantine happened and Kelsey had to go back to Texas after contracting the virus. State of emergency was declared in California on March 4th of 2020, and a mandatory statewide stay-at-home order was issued on March 19th of 2020. Being bored, not having any shows or nothing to do, Tory Lanez decided to start Quarantine Radio March 24th of 2020. Now, Quarantine Radio was instantly a hit. The premise of Quarantine Radio was to put on a live radio show on IG Live, essentially providing entertainment for an entertainment-deprived audience. The initial live stream peaked at 38,000 live viewers, but the word quickly got out, and Quarantine Radio became a staple in the culture. Everybody was tuning in. Quarantine Radio got so popular that it began setting records. Quarantine Radio broke the record for IG Live viewers with the help of Drake on April 9th of 2020. Drake joined the live stream, and Quarantine Radio live viewers went up by about 180,000, surpassing 315,000, which was a record at that time. Taylor Swift held the previous record, which was 156,000 live viewers.
We got Drake live!
Let's think about that, y'all. During Quarantine Radio, during the middle of the pandemic, Tory Lanez Quarantine Radio was so fucking successful that he ended up breaking the all-time record of live attendees for his live on Instagram, which was a record previously held by Taylor Swift with 160,000. This motherfucker exceeded 200K once Drake popped up in Quarantine Radio. So that basically paints the picture who really had the clout during the pandemic and the lockdown. It was Tory. So if you were somebody on the come up like Meg the Stallion during the time, of course you want to get close to this man, because that automatically meant that that clout will be transferred to you. Everybody was on this short nigga's nutsack. Let's continue to listen.
Hold on. Don't say nothing yet. Let us give you your intro. Ultimate light skin. Hold on, ladies and gentlemen. With the help of the ultimate light skin, we just reached 246,000.
246 motherfuckers watching this shit live. Wow.
The Taylor Swift record for 156,000 people live on her live. Drake, what are you doing?
At this point in time, Tory Lanez was the biggest thing on the planet. He had the biggest, most viral show on the internet at that time. And by default, the clout hoarders are going to assemble and try to get next to him. One of them being Megan Thee Stallion. And at that time, was still an up-and-coming artist struggling for a second.
Let's keep in mind, this was before Megan had won that Grammy, before she had more than that one single that put her on the map. This was when she was still signed to Carl Crawford, the former LA Dodgers baseball player. This is when she was still on the come up. So that speaks volumes as far as to what her purpose was, basically trying to, you know what I mean, get in where she fit in. Let's go.
Second hit. She's seen that Tory Lanez Quarantine Radio was getting 300,000 live stream viewers, and she's seen the perfect opportunity for free promo and free clout, and decided she wanted to get next to Tory Lanez. Megan was dedicated to getting next to Tory Lanez, even if that meant screwing over her best friend Kelsey and getting into a three-way love triangle between Kelsey, her, and Tory Lanez. Megan Thee Stallion will ultimately invite Tory Lanez over her house for them to film an episode of Quarantine Radio.
Drop the peach emoji. Whoa!
Look at this bird in the back, man. Look at this bird. Excuse my language. Look at this bird right here.
Hold on.
That would also be the first night that Megan Thee Stallion officially backstabbed her friend Kelsey and became intimate with Tory Lanez and officially created a three-way love triangle between the three. Tory was so clouded up at the time that Megan Thee Stallion wasn't the only high-profile celebrity chick with their eyes on Tory Lanez. Quarantine Radio was a walk-in money sign to a lot of these celebrity chicks. Even Kylie Jenner had her eyes on Tory Lanez. She was all up in the comment section.
Let's put things in perspective here. This nigga was so clouded up that billionaire rather, one of the hottest chicks in the game for consecutive years, and Kylie Jenner was on this nigga's dick too. Think about that. Kylie Jenner was on this little nigga's dick. That's how much clout he had during Quarantine Radio. Let's go.
commenting, being flirtatious. On July 2nd of 2020, Kelsey took a flight back to LA after being away for about 2 months. This will mark her official move to LA to stay with Megan Thee Stallion and be her full-time assistant. Kelsey and Tory Lanez were still communicating consistently, and she had no idea that Tory Lanez and Megan had been involved while she was away. While Kelsey was only in LA for about a week and a half, she was invited to a Kylie Jenner party by Megan Thee Stallion.
So when I'm referring to the Kardashians.
The Kylie Jenner party has often been described as a small get-together. The party took place July 11th, and Megan and Kelsey arrived at Kylie Jenner house at around 3 p.m. Now, the party started off amazing. Megan was in the kitchen cooking up some nachos. Kelsey, Kylie, and Kylie friends were outside playing beer pong. At about 6 to 7 p.m., Kelsey got super drunk after drinking all day and decided to take.
Pay attention, y'all. Poetic Flacco is currently giving y'all the facts of what happened that fateful night over at Kylie Jenner's get-together. This is basically a legit breakdown and real reliable timeline of what happened leading up to the events of the supposed dance bitch dance shootout. Let's go.
Take a nap. She woke up at around 10 p.m., came downstairs, and seen that Megan had invited Tory Lanez over, and Tory Lanez, Megan, and Kylie were chilling in the pool. Kelsey would later find out that Kylie urged and insisted that Megan invite Tory Lanez, and she actually reminded Megan after every hour to figure out what Tory Lanez ETA was, and safe to say Kylie was thirsty.
Yeah, I heard that. So Kylie Jenner's get-together, right? Kylie had invited Megan to come over. Kylie knew that Megan had the plug and the connect with Tory Lanez. So did Kylie really invite Megan because she wanted Megan's company, or did she really invite Megan so she could end up bringing Tory Lanez with her? You know what I mean? As Poetic Flacco just said, as Megan was on her way and upon her arrival, Kylie basically kept asking her every hour, "Yo, where's Tory? Where's Tory? Where's Tory? Where's Tory? Where's Tory?" Let's pay attention, y'all. Let's go.
For that quarantine radio clout, and she wanted to meet this charismatic mini person in person. All right, that's a fact. Kylie was thirsty for that quarantine radio clout. Now, when Tory came, the night could be described as awkward. Because once Tory Lanez came, Kylie Jenner was mesmerized by that quarantine radio clout, and Tory Lanez was rizzing her up all type of crazy. As you can see, Tory Lanez, Megan, and Kylie were in the pool.
We had to come kill the streets for 5 minutes. Tory, don't get my phone wet.
But Tory was really only paying attention to Kylie Jenner, and that got Megan super agitated. Megan's attitude as the night progressed, because Tory Lanez was trying his hardest to mac on Kylie, it became so noticeable that even Megan's friends encouraged her to leave the party because she was becoming a nuisance to the vibe. Now, eventually, her friends convinced her to leave the party, but she insisted that she's not going to leave the party until Tory Lanez comes. Tory Lanez convinced Megan and Kelsey to hop in the car with his security, and his security would drive them to his home, and he would meet up with them later. While on the ride home with Tory Lanez security at Tory Lanez estate, Megan came to the realization that when they left, there were only 6 people at Kylie Jenner's house: Megan, Kelsey, EJ, Tory, Kylie, and Tory's security. So if her, Kelsey, and Tory's security left, and EJ left when they left, that would mean that Tory and Kylie was at Kylie's house alone at 4 a.m.
Yeah, peep that. So the moment in time where basically Tory urged Megan to leave, mind you, they was both extremely inebriated and drunk as fuck. Both the assistant, which is Kelsey, the main witness, and Megan, twisted and shit faced out their ass. Basically, Tory basically suggested for them to leave. Once they were leaving, Megan put 2 and 2 together. Wait, if I'm out, they left, and these other people left, that means Tory left behind along with Kylie, which means Tory's about to get them cheeks. Sounds like a possessive and controlling female to me, because that's when she came up with the excuse of, "Oh, I left my Cinderella slippers at Kylie's. We need to go back and get it." Pay attention, y'all.
And this really disturbed Megan Thee Stallion. So Megan told Tory's security to turn the car around and go back to Kylie's house, but the security was not budging and he kept driving. So Megan decided to make up a story about how she left a slipper at Kylie Jenner's house, and that slipper was super important. Again, a multi-millionaire told a driver to turn the car around because a pair of slippers was really important to her. So the driver obliged and turned the car around, and once they got to Kylie's house, the security and Kelsey stayed in the car, and Megan was supposed to hop.
Yeah, Sue. So good looking Tommy. Yeah, Sue. And so she basically came up with the excuse of, oh, I forgot my slipper, to basically go back and basically grab this nigga Tory by the neck and drag him out of there because she wasn't trying to share him, although she was sharing him with her assistant. Go figure. Go ahead. Go figure, man. These fucking clout chasing birds, man. But let's go.
Hop out, grab her slippers, and come back. But when Megan walked back into Kylie Jenner house and opened up the front door that was unlocked, she was
Pay attention, y'all. So as soon as she went back, you could tell that she had one intent in mind, which was to get Tori out of there because she was jealous of Kylie. Due to the fact that when she went back to supposedly get her slipper, she went back with a lot of animosity and anguish. Because as soon as she entered into that shit into Kylie's crib again, an argument ensued, which prompted Kylie and her securities to kick everybody out, including fucking Tori. Pay attention.
was met by a scene that really disturbed her, and that sparked a huge argument between Kylie Jenner, Megan, and Tory. It's unclear what Megan walked in on that had her super upset, but a big argument between Megan, Tory, and Kylie sparked off, and Kylie eventually had enough and told Megan to
Rose,
get
what's
out.
going on, King?
Tory Lanez realizing that Megan done cock blocked him to infinity and he wasn't going to be cracking Kylie Jenner cheeks that night, he decided to leave when Megan got kicked out. So when they got back in the car, an argument started taking.
Alright, so this is the plain picture. Tory was in there getting his quarantine radio fucking Mac on with Kylie. He's about to smash and get them cheeks because obviously Kylie's been on this nigga's Johnson, right? This bitch Megan the Stallion was in there cock blocking from the beginning, told to leave. As she was leaving, she was like, "Fuck no, I'm not gonna let this nigga get the bun, especially not with Kylie." So she went back to cock block in a major way, to the point that an argument ensued, and she basically prompted Kylie to kick all of them out. So think about this: all of them had to leave, including Tory. Imagine how pissed you would be if you was about to fucking smash Kylie Jenner and then abruptly you're forced to leave because this bitch came back to get her Cinderella fucking shoe and slipper just to fucking cock block. So of course you can imagine how upset Tory Lanez is. So on the way out, once they entered that SUV, a huge argument ensued between Tory Guns, Meg the Stallion, and the assistant ex best friend of Kelsey, which ended up into Tory Lanez divulging some information that definitely set the shit off, which was ultimately the main X factor as far as what started and what resulted in the shootout, in the dance bitch moment. So pay attention, y'all, and then I'm gonna give y'all my thorough Lazo certified breakdown of the situation and pinpoint who the fuck is lying, who's not, who's the biggest burn in this whole situation.
Taking place between Tory and Megan after Megan cock blocked him to the nth degree. He was letting her have it. Kelsey stepped in and instructed Tory Lanez not to cuss out her friend, and she don't care what they got going on. He would now call her all types of bees and hoes. Tory then turned to Kelsey and told her, "Are you really defending Megan when she's been sleeping with me behind your back?" Megan then turned.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Did y'all hear that? Check this out. Throughout this whole time of Meg, Tori, and Kelsey being in Kylie Jenner's crib and get together, y'all got to keep in mind there was one couple in this equation, which was Tori and Kelsey. Kelsey being Meg the Stallion's assistant and former best friend for over 15 years. They went to fucking school together. At the time of the party, Tori was fucking Kelsey. Unbeknownst to Kelsey, Tori was also fucking Meg the Stallion, which is her best friend and her boss. Let me rewind it back a bit. How did Tory Lanez and Kelsey, Meg the Stallion's former best friend and assistant, get together? By Meg the Stallion hooking them up when they met in that faithful Rock Nation brunch back in March of 2020. So Meg the Stallion hooks up Tory Lanez with her best friend. A few months go by. Kelsey catches COVID, stays back, went back to Houston. Meg stays in LA. While her best friend, who's dating Tory Lanez, is recovering from COVID, Meg the Stallion, cloud chasing because this nigga was the hottest nigga out with quarantine radio, starts to fuck Tory. So what do we have? A real sloppy situation. While them three are at Kylie Jenner's gathering, Tory is known that Tory's dating a fucking Kelsey while he's fucking Meg the Stallion on the side. But what's the big variable here? The fact that Kelsey did not know Meg the Stallion was backstabbing her by fucking her man, which was Tory. In addition to that, they're all in the get together at Kylie Jenner's house, where Kelsey, Tory's girl, and Meg the Stallion, Tory's side piece, is watching Tory Lanez flirt and try to get it in with Kylie Jenner. They end up getting kicked out the party on the way out while they're in the SUV. Tory starts arguing with Meg, like, why you cock blocking, bitch, blah, 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 blah. Kelsey, unbeknownst to her, not knowing that Meg is fucking Tory, starts to go at Tory, like, yo, don't call my best friend no type of bitches, blah, 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 blah. Tory looks at Kelsey like, bitch, you have some balls. You defending this bitch? The bitch that's backstabbing you in the back and is actually fucking me and started fucking me while you were recovering from COVID? That's when all hell broke loose inside that SUV, because that's at the time that Kelsey found out that Meg the Stallion was shitting on her, their friendship, their loyalty by fucking Tory. So think about that argument in any environment, whether it's an apartment, a house, outside in the streets. Now picture that same argument and all of those tempers flaring in the confines of the backseat of an SUV that is extremely confined and fucking tight as fuck. Fireworks are gonna be sparked and going off fucking greater than July 4th. You feel me? So just have that situation in your heads. And again, this is leading up to the shooting. So that right there is enough to be able to start pointing fingers as far as who would have the better motive to fucking dance bitch, and shoot this bitch in the feet. But let's continue.
To Kelsey and told Kelsey, do not listen to him, and then turned to Tori and said, why will you tell her that? Kelsey wasn't buying Megan's denial, and Kelsey decided to let Tory Lanez know in the vehicle that Megan had slept with her boyfriends in the past, citing the baby, citing Ben Simmons and others as other men that Megan Thee Stallion.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Breaking news, breaking news. So y'all heard that? So while they're in the back seat, right? Tory basically breaks the news to Kelsey, like, yo, why you trusting and why you defending this bitch? This bitch has been fucking me behind your back. Then Kelsey gets upset and believes Tory because that was not the first time Meg went ahead and got her sloppy seconds. And that's when she went ahead and she name dropped. She referenced how Meg the Stallion went ahead and fucked the baby while Kelsey was fucking with the baby, the rapper from North Carolina. In addition to how Meg the Stallion was fucking NBA All Star, currently Brooklyn Nets point guard Ben Simmons. She was fucking Ben Simmons while Kelsey was fucking him. So there's a lot that basically hints and points at Tory telling the truth about Meg fucking him. So Kelsey's super mad at this moment in the SUV. Let's go.
Has stole from her and slept with behind her back. Now, after Kelsey revealed this, the argument just escalated. Megan asked to stop the car once and hopped out, but she sat at a bus stop, like with nowhere to go. So Tory convinced her to hop back in the SUV and he would take her home. As they continued to drive, the conversation between Megan and Tory began to escalate. And once Megan insulted Tory Lanez's skills as a musician and told him that he was only famous and hot because he was on a remix of a Jack Harlow song.
As a former MC myself, in the middle of an argument, you tell a nigga that he's not nice, he can't rap, niggas is gonna get tight. So that's the low blow Megan hit Tory with in the middle of that argument. Like, nigga, you can't rap. You a singer, you can't rap. So now shit just got escalated to another level. Motherfucker, everybody's heated at this point. Who else was in that vehicle? Tory's bodyguard, who happened to be the driver. Let's go.
Song that apparently sent Tory Lanez over the edge, and Tory Lanez asked his driver to stop the car and said, please get these bitch out of my vehicle. This is my car. Let these hoe walk home. So Megan Thee Stallion and Kelsey obliged and said, yeah, stop the car. Like, we'll get out and just take an Uber. So when they hopped out, after they both got out of the vehicle, a series of events took place that led to Megan Thee Stallion being shot in both feet. Now, we won't find out exactly who shot Megan Thee Stallion until about December 24th of 2022. That's when the verdict for the Tory Lanez trial will get read out.
And we're gonna get
However,
into the
after Megan
forensics
got
in a
shot,
bit.
Tory Lanez was arrested. Kelsey did come in for questioning, but was later released. And Tory Lanez.
All right, man, that's enough of a backstory. So as y'all all know already, Kelsey been fucking Tory. They're an item. How did they connect? By Meg the Stallion hooking them up in that Rock Nation brunch. Few months fast forward, we're still dealing with the pandemic. There's no clubs open, no bars open. So if somebody's throwing a fucking gathering or house party, niggas is gonna jump on it, especially if you're living in LA. Kylie Jenner happens to have a gathering. She invites Meg the Stallion as a way of having and ensuring that Tory Lanez will be coming through because he's Mr. Quarantine Radio, Mr. Pandemic Poppin'. They end up coming to Kylie Jenner's fucking gathering. It's Meg The Stallion and her homegirl, assistant Kelsey. Now, there's been multiple reports by Meg The Stallion's closest friends and associates, her ex-boyfriends, and fellow peers that Meg The Stallion has a tendency of getting extremely aggressive and vulgar when she gets drunk. She gets real touchy and always argues and fights. Now I don't know if y'all seen Meg The Stallion. This bitch is bigger than me. She's probably like 6'2", 240 pounds, and could probably deadlift 545 pounds, run the 40-yard dash in 3 seconds, and could probably bench 325. This bitch is brolic. Tory Lanez is probably like 5'5", weighing a buck 35, soaking wet. They go to the party. Kelsey ended up being so drunk that she ended up taking a nap upstairs while Tori, Kylie, and Meg were at the pool. So Kelsey never saw her man at the time flirting with Kylie and trying to get it in. You know what I mean? But Meg did. Eventually, Kelsey wakes up. She goes back downstairs. By this point, Meg The Stallion is drunk as fuck, and she's like, "Yo, we gotta go." In court, when she was testifying, she was saying that when she went downstairs, she noticed Meg The Stallion was so drunk because she kept hitting this crazy annoying laugh, which is what she does when she's super twisted. So she was like, "Yo, we gotta go." Um, Tory noticed she was mad drunk, so he was like, "Yo, my driver's gonna take you out of my crib. I'll meet you there in an hour or two." I bet they leave. On the way out, Meg The Stallion's like, "Wait, if there was only 4 or 5 people there when we left, and we just left, that means that only security, Kylie and Tori's left. Nah, I gotta go back. I got a cock block. I can't let this nigga fuck Tori. Mind you, that's not even her man. That's Kelsey's man. She comes up with the excuse of she left her slipper in Kylie's house, extremely valuable. Makes the security guard turn around and go get it. When they go back, argument ensues right at the door. Kylie's like, "I don't want no part of this hood booger shit." Kicks both of them motherfuckers out. Hold up a second. Kicks both of them motherfuckers out. In the SUV, an argument ensues where Tori's pissed at Meg. "Bitch, what the fuck? Blah, blah, blah." Kelsey's like, "Chill, don't talk to my homegirl like that." Tori's like, "What the fuck you mean don't talk to your homegirl like that? She been fucking me behind your back." Kelsey loses it. Keep in mind, Kelsey loses her shit because whether Meg admitted it or not, that's not the first time she's backdoored her like that. She fucked the baby when she was fucking the baby. She fucked Ben Simmons when she was fucking Ben Simmons. She fucked Rose Gold while she was fucking with Rose Gold. Shit is crazy. So all three of them are arguing, right? At some point in time, Meg The Stallion is outside the SUV, and supposedly she gets shot at. They shoot at her feet. Then the cops come, arrest everybody, blah blah. They send Meg to the hospital. This is important. One doctor said her injuries to her foot were due to some broken glass on the floor. Another doctor says that they removed some fucking bullet fragments. People are saying that the doctor who said they removed bullet fragments was somebody that was paid off by Rock Nation, JC and them, because Meg was signed to Rock Nation. Also, around this quarantine time, Tory Lanez was getting so big that Jay Z and Rock Nation was trying to sign Tory Lanez as well. Anyways, those were the facts, right? As the court starts, which started this Monday, a 5-day speedy trial. We should have the verdict by tomorrow, the latest. FYI, Tory Lanez facing 22 years if he gets found guilty. During the trial, back in September, Kelsey had met with some investigators. The detectives had recorded her basically admitting that Tory had shot Megan. That video recording got sent to the DA. So the prosecutors are like, "Okay, we need her to testify. When she goes up there, she's gonna say what she said in the recordings back in September, which was Tory shot her." So the prosecutors think, "Yo, case closed. We got this." But Kelsey still didn't feel comfortable testifying. So in order to urge her to testify, they were like, "Listen, would you testify and repeat what you said in those recordings back in September? We give you full immunity." Full immunity means she could go up there and say, "I shot that nigga and I shot his mom," and they cannot arrest her and give her time or prosecute her for whatever she says on trial. So the prosecutor offers her the immunity, full jacket immunity. She signs the paper. Day two or day three comes of the trial. The DA is expecting her to repeat what she said in September. What did she say on the stand? I didn't see nobody. I didn't see Tory shoot her. Mind you, Kelsey had not spoken to Megan for 2 years because she hates her guts. So the prosecutors then gave her immunity to have her go up there and basically fuck up their whole case by denying everything she said. Then they played the recording of what she said in September, and she said, I lied on everything I told the cops because I was afraid of having to be jammed up or blamed for something. I was only protecting myself. So I told y'all what y'all wanted to hear. So she has immunity. She's up there. If it's determined that she's the one that shot Megan, she gets to walk. You know what I'm saying? So this shit is crazy. So she's basically go up there and she fucks up the whole case. And now the jury and the judge is looking at Tory like, did Tory do this? Because their star witnesses basically saying the opposite happened. So okay, now the forensics come in. People test the gun, the trajectory of the bullets, blah 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 blah. Guess what happens? Guess who they found gunpowder residue on? They found it on Kelsey's hands. That's right, Meg Thee Stallion's assistant and the one who was upset that she was fucking her man Tory Lanez and fucked everybody else. They found gun residue on her hands. They did the same test kit on Tory Lanez. Inconclusive. No gun residue. What's that telling y'all? So, long story short, I think they had the argument. Kelsey tried to flex and reach for the weapon on some you serious bitch trying to threaten her, whatever. Meg Thee Stallion gets out the car because she pussy and she afraid. Nah, she's not pussy because I would have gotten out the car too. They pulled out a gun on me. Fuck that. She gets out the car super afraid. Kelsey probably waves a firearm like, yeah, bitch. And she's the one that said, dance, bitch, dance, bitch. And by accident, while she's saying dance, bitch, and waving the gun that she's probably not used to holding, bah, she lets off shots. Shots hit the floor. Some glass ends up cutting Meg Thee Stallion's fucking foot. But check this out, guys. Even if the defense switches it up and today they go full blown and try to prove that Kelsey was the one that shot Megan, and even if Kelsey admits she shot Megan, Megan ain't doing no time because she got that immunity deal. So this should be a lesson to all y'all chicks out there, man. Never do y'all homegirls, especially y'all best friends, wrong, man. And don't do them dirty because that shit will come back and bite you in the ass. Because Tory Lanez is about to get free, about to avoid that 22-year sentence. Kelsey's probably gonna fucking sign a lucrative Netflix special deal to have a movie come out with her story, while Meg Thee Stallion is gonna go ahead and get that Amber Heard treatment because she's already fucking failed and already lost in the court of opinion. You know what I'm saying? So that's what's been going on up to date, man. So as more comes through, I'm definitely gonna keep you abreast of the situation. And once the verdict comes down, hopefully it's the right one, which is letting Tory Lanez walk. I'm definitely gonna come back and review all of that. But anyways, man, let me take my light skin back to work, man. I appreciate everybody in the chat who came through. I appreciate the bushes and I appreciate everybody who's gonna catch the replay. Man, y'all have a great happy holidays and like your boy Laz always say, man, sleep good, eat good, fuck good. We out. Oh, and yes, Kelsey did it. Free Tory. One.